Hey, it's Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 78-year-old male. Now, first thing I recommend is going directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we have these free quoters on just about every page. And what you can do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday, the rest of the info in, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to have the best insurance companies that offer the lowest pricing that you may qualify for. You can also call us directly at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can just run those rates for you as well and actually help you understand what you will qualify for. Now, one of the first things a 78-year-old male should ask himself when looking at $20,000 worth of insurance is, is that going to be enough for his final expense needs? And that's typically going to be either cremation or burial. Let's talk about cremation first. So the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. So that's just if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have like a cremation in some sort of ceremony, like a remembrance of life or celebration of life ceremony, something like that, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So we would coverage-wise, we'd typically recommend for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, probably around $5,000 to $7,000. Now, you're probably saying, well, Randy, you said cremation is going to be $2,000. Why are we looking at $5,000? Well, the reason is we know, prices go up over time due to inflation. And if our 78-year-old male makes it to 88, we know that cremations are going to be more expensive. So we just build in a little bit more coverage right now while he qualifies at the lowest rates he'll ever qualify for the rest of his life. And that inflation proofs his plan. And then God forbid, if he did die sooner than anybody thought, there's, worst case scenario, there's a little extra money left over to take care of some other final expenses, maybe medical bills or credit cards, stuff like that. So it works really terrific. And then for that cremation and ceremony, we would typically recommend around maybe $7,000 to $10,000. And again, does the same thing. It protects the plan by inflation proofing it, but also kind of provides some money up front if somebody doesn't make it as long as we thought they would. Now, for a burial, we typically recommend, the average cost of a burial right now is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll get things done for you. Now, it's not going to be anything fancy. Nope. But they should get it done. It's hard to imagine they would say, no, we're not going to take your money and let you walk out the door to one of their competitors, 2 blocks down the road or something like that. Just understand, it's not going to be anything fancy and it's not inflation proof. So for a 78-year-old male, we would typically recommend somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000. Some people would go $20,000, but at age 78, the statistical male, probably doesn't have much more than 5 to 10 years, looking at statistics anyway. So 10 to 15 generally should do it. 10 is kind of the cost of what it is right now. So some people might go like 12,000 or 12,500 or 14, 15, but anywhere somewhere in there. But, if you have more kind of fancy plans, I guess, for lack of a better word, you might want to get 20,000. But again, most of the people we work with are on a fixed or limited income. So getting more coverage can sometimes be more than what fits in their budget. So worst case scenario, get what you can afford. Even if it's $10,000, that takes care of the majority of your, the burden when you do pass away. And we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, sometimes somebody will say, hey, I want to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 and leave some money behind for my kids. We would generally say, hey, you probably should have done that younger than age 78, and it would have been much more affordable. Because sometimes people will say, well, if I can't get 50,000, I'm not going to do anything. And that just always comes across kind of selfish because, they're the ones that waited until age 78. They could have gotten this, at 18 years old if they want. They delayed this all this time, and now they're just kind of saying they're not going to do it because the insurance companies are too expensive. They're the ones that waited this long. And it's not fair because of their procrastination the kids are going to have to pay for the burial or the cremation. And typically they're going to have to put that on a credit card and pay 26% interest. And they're going to have to pay on that for years in many cases. So don't do that. Don't be selfish. Just get the insurance. We recommend you get the insurance for its intended need, final expenses. And if you ever want to get some insurance for the kids, we can follow back up and get a separate policy for the kids. That tends to kind of be a really great way of handling situations like this. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. And what that means is, hypothetically, if your policy were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would be required to write a check for $20,000 to your beneficiaries. And that's really what you want. You do not want a 2-year waiting period. I'll go over that in just a moment here. But yeah, you want that first day coverage. Now, some people would say, you're right, Randy, I do want that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm not sure I'll qualify, because I know those plans ask health questions. To which we say, hey, the health questions, that's our problem, not your problem, from an insurance standpoint anyway. The reason we say that is that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because they all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting questions. And really 95% of the time right now, we're able to get people first day coverage or benefits. So we're terrific at what we do there. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to is if you waited too long and you had some really significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically recommend you or refer you to a different insurance company. And then also, it seems like every week we get a call from somebody saying, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get some insurance company money to pay the funeral home. We have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer an insurance plan like this on a dead person. No, you have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And it's really sad that the family member passed away. I get it. That's really sad. But it's also really sad that they didn't get this insurance. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably looked at this insurance in the past and just said, I'll think about it. I'll get it later. And then they just went and died. And now the family's got to pay for it. And they're probably going to throw it on credit cards at 26% interest, and it's going to take years to pay off. What a terrible legacy to leave behind. You could have done everything else right in your life, and you do this one last thing wrong, and that's how you're going to be remembered by. So, really take care of this now. If your budget's tight, just get what you can afford. We can always help you add more coverage later. But yeah, don't have that legacy of you burdening other people with your expenses when you're gone. Now, one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. No, don't get one of those. Colonial Penn is one of the companies out there. If you didn't know this, their $9.95 plan is a mandatory 2-year waiting period policy where they won't pay any death benefit in the first 2 years if you die of any health or medical reason. Yeah, yuck, right? Yeah, you absolutely don't want that policy if you can qualify for first aid coverage. And Colonial Penn's not the only one out there. There's Colonial Penn. There is Mutual of Omaha. Their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, there's just a whole bunch of different ones. And, a lot of these companies out there have done a really great job of convincing the American public that if they're over age 50, the only thing they're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. To which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 78-year-old male probably just got done watching a Colonial Penn $9.95 commercial. He's probably feeling pretty good, like he kind of tricked Colonial Penn, because he goes, I'm 78 and I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then he gets on the phone with a Colonial Penn agent, or gets on their website like we're doing for you right here. Male, age 78, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95. $9.95 is only going to provide $468 worth of coverage. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. So that's, that's not even enough for cremation. And, even if it were, it would have a 2-year waiting period, as we talked about, for any health or medical related cause of death. So yeah, why would you ever get into a plan based only on pricing when the coverage is so pitiful, right? Minimal. And there's some people out there that would say that companies that offer super low teaser rates, They do that not because they want to sell you that teaser rate plan. They want to get you on the phone and let you know how minuscule that coverage is, and then talk you into more coverage, which is way more profitable for them. And, we're not saying that Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but, there's some people that talk about things like that. And I guess you could formulate your own opinion based off only getting $468 for $9.95. Now, the challenge with Colonial Penn here is they only offer up to 15 units worth of coverage. They max out at 15 units. We're not going to get anywhere close to $20,000 for a 78-year-old male. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, 15 units, going to be $150 roughly. It's only going to get you $7,000. That might work for cremation. That's not going to work for burial unless you had an existing plan. But yeah, $7,000 for a brand new coverage. Nah. Let's take a look at what $20,000 would cost if it were first day coverage. So we've got $20,000 here, male, and here we go, age 78. Here we go. And again, we know that this is going to be $7,000 for $150 roughly. Yeah, so we're gonna get $20,000 here, and this is getting on the expensive side because you are 78 years old. Congratulations, you made it that long. So we're looking at these companies right around $230, $240, something like that, somewhere in there. When you look at this, this is $150 for $7,000. This is $80, $90 more, and you get, $13,000 more coverage, roundabout. So it's a much better deal. In most cases, we see Colonial Penn being right at or about 200% higher than our first day coverage companies out there. Let's look at some other companies out here. You'll be able to see all these companies here. 235. So like this, Lumico, they're like about $30 more a month. So $30 more a month times 12 is $360 after 10 years. When our 78-year-old male is 88, you have overpaid right around $3,600. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever give $3,600 roughly to an insurance company when just by having somebody help you who's smarter at this than you can make sure that money stays in your bank account? Yeah. So you got to be a smart consumer. If you're not a smart consumer, just reach out to us at Funeral Funds. We'll be the smart consumer for you. We'll help you be smart and get the best pricing. So here's one other one, Lincoln Heritage. Fine company, I guess, but it is level coverage, first day coverage. But hey, look at that pricing. Holy cow, almost $316. And the reason they're more expensive is that they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 funeral homes and get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things. But they don't do that for free. No, they charge for that. And it gets really expensive. So let's see, we're around $315 versus $235. Lincoln Heritage is about $80 more a month. So let's just calculate that out. So $80 a month times 12 months is roughly around $760 a year you'd be overpaying. And then if our 78-year-old male makes it all the way to 88, you've overpaid right around $9,600 by going with Lincoln Heritage versus another company that you can get lower pricing on. And we recommend you not give an insurance company an extra $9,600 roughly when you don't have to. We think that money's better off in your bank account versus in an insurance company's bank account. So we recommend, we help you with one of these other companies where we can actually get lower rates. And then what we do is we actually provide free of charge a funeral and estate planning guide. And you just download that off our website, print it out. And once it's printed out, you just fill it out. Who gets what goes where, what you want to happen after you're gone. And when you're done with that, you keep it with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family's going to know exactly what to do. They're going to know that they're not only protected financially with the insurance, but they're also protected emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide, because all they have to do is open it up and read it and read exactly what you wanted done after you're gone. And they will know that you not only love them in life, but you also love them in death when you wouldn't be around and when they would actually need your help more than ever, and you took care of this in advance. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So we can help you with that legacy. Go to funeralfunds.com. We've got a special quoter for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can get more discounts and better rates on that quoter. And you can also call us directly at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with this. But, if you've got an existing policy and you want to see if we can save you money, or you just want to add coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for brand new coverage or just have some questions, we can help you out with that. But we really look forward to the day where we can help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you out with this at some point in the future. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.